What's up, party people? This is Maine's World, and it is party time. The newest and realest sports podcast on the planet, giving the truth to you straight. Why? Because you can't control me. I'm Jermaine Harris, and I'm your host. I hope you enjoy the show. Party people, welcome back. It's been a minute. As many of you all know, I'm still a military member on active duty, so I have been in a training exercise for the last several days. I would tell you about it, but it's a little bit top secret. I might have to kill you. No, I'm just joking, but it's good to be back. I've been reading your questions, doing my little research. It's good to be back in Maine's World. I hope you guys enjoy the show. I appreciate you being with me. So let's get after it here pretty quick. Let's see what we got. All right, our first question comes in from Big Red in Chicago. Do you think the Bears will make the playoffs? Big Red, my first thought is hell no. But under further investigation with the expanded playoff picture this year, 7 teams, only one bye, the Bears will probably make the playoffs. On my initial thought, I thought that a team would need 10 wins to make the playoffs. I think the Bears will only get to 9 wins. But with the new format, we got the NFC South, the Saints and Bucks probably both going to come out. Well, both are going to come out. The NFC West is going to be the Seahawks and Cardinals, I believe. You could say the Rams, but I think the Cardinals are going to be the other team to come out of that division. And then we'll have whatever team, I guess I'll say Philly, coming out the NFC least division, and then the Packers, and then the Bears can make the playoffs at 9-7 because one of the other NFC West teams will also most likely be 9-7, and we should have a better conference record than that team, seeing as they all have division games left. The NFC West has a lot of division games amongst each other yet to play. I mean, although the Bears have had still the offensive struggles continue, still the team has no identity on offense. I do still expect to see Mitchell Trubisky again this season. I think we're going to lose to the Packers twice. Losing to the Packers and not making the playoffs is enough to get people fired, but I think the Bears will make the playoffs. I think we will beat the Vikings this weekend, go on the bye, but I don't think that the organization has the mental capacity to fix anything in the bye week. We haven't shown anyone that we have any capacity to make changes to improve ourselves, even in games, before the trade deadline. So I don't see him doing it in the bye week. I probably see people getting COVID-19 in the bye week and derailing the whole season. But the Bears do have a path to the playoffs. I think getting to 9-7 will solidify a playoff spot. And if we can't win 4 more games, then we're in a lot worse shape than I thought. So, yeah, my first initial thought was playoffs. Playoffs? We're trying to win a damn game. But the Bears do have a path to the playoffs. Hopefully we can get our act together and make some noise in the playoffs. We shall see. All right, our next question comes in from Dante in Omaha, Nebraska. Will boxing's pound-for-pound king picture be clearer after the Terrence Crawford-Kell Brook fight? Well, Dante, I actually don't think the picture is going to be any clearer. If Terrence Bud Crawford pulls off the victory like we anticipate in impressive fashion, his shine will definitely be brighter than the rest. But boxing's pound-for-pound king quest is always ongoing. We have to take into account fighters like Tank Davis and his impressive victory over Leo Santa Cruz, who was WBA super featherweight champion, which people forget. We still have to talk about Canelo Alvarez and him becoming a free agent recently. Now technically free to fight whoever he wants, make his own fights. He's scheduled to fight Caleb Smith, a WBA super middleweight champion. That should be a compelling fight. Have to talk about Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia. Right now, I think that's probably going to be the most exciting fight. Errol Spence Jr. coming off of his car accident. So if Errol Spence Jr. wins that fighter versus Danny Garcia in compelling fashion, he's definitely catapulted up there. That fight's in 2 weeks, I believe. Teofimo Lopez and his recent victory over Vasily Lomachenko, who was a lot of people's pound-for-pound king. We have to talk about the Japanese bantamweight fighter, Naoya Inoue, just signed with Top Rank. So we should see more compelling fights for him. I mean, he's on a lot of people's pound-for-pound lists as 1, 2, or 3. We can't forget the heavyweights. Tyson Fury's on a lot of people's lists. But in my opinion, we will not have an answer to boxing's pound-for-pound king until we see Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fight. In my opinion, that's the most compelling fight right now. That's the fight that people want to see. And the winner of that fight should be, in my opinion, boxing's pound-for-pound king. Like I say, it's a never-ending quest to be boxing's pound-for-pound king. As long as we have fighters fighting, it's going to be a question. But like I said, that's the fight everybody wants to see. Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Bud Crawford. That would be the pound-for-pound king, in my opinion. All right, our next question comes in from Roro G in Chicago. Who should the Bulls target in free agency and the draft? All right, Roro, I got to first off start by saying this. I think the Bulls have already made the most significant changes that need to be made to the organization already. Hiring a new GM, team president, and head coach was by far the best decisions they've made in a long time. Another decision that this general manager and team president have made, which is very significant, is they fired the former trainer Jeff Tanaka and hired a new training staff. And I bring this up because I have been talking about the training staff for years. I just looked it up a little while ago. The Bulls have lost over 1,000 games to injury since 2016. And I read that they started over 30 different lineups due to injury last year. So the new head trainer is Todd Campbell, 16 years NBA experience, is the Brown and Harvard grad. So when I saw that the GM and president made that move, I was like, okay, they have their ear to the street. They got their pulse on the organization, and that was a great change. I can't say that it's going to be a great hire because we gotta see, but that is something that definitely needs to be changed. So targets in the draft. All right, targets in the draft. I believe that the Bulls just need to line up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your big board, and whoever's available, the highest on your list, that's who you draft. Whether it's LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton, Obi Toppin, Killian Hayes, or James Wiseman, whoever is the top on your board, you draft that player. Billy Donovan is not a coach that has a particular style. He makes his game plan based on the players that he has. So I think you just got to pick the best player available. The Bulls have quite a bit of talent, have some talent already. Kobe White is a great player. Zach LaVine, Wendell Carter, and Lauri Markkanen. I mean, people don't like him, but you know, he can be a player that can be serviceable in this league for a long time. Now, as far as free agents, I hear that the Bulls were trying to get Marc Gasol. Maybe they're trying to bring Marc Gasol in to develop Markkanen a little better. But I believe that the Bulls need a small forward that can actually guard as well. So the first name that comes to mind is Evan Turner. Evan Turner, 6'7", 200 pounds, small forward. Actually a Chicago native. That might be a good target. I think he would work well with this team. Another important thing we need to get rid of. I think we need to get rid of Otto Porter. We definitely need to get rid of Felicio. He's been robbing us for years, and we can get rid of Valentine as well. I'm not even sure why Valentine was picked. I don't think he'll get quality minutes on any other team, which he doesn't even get quality minutes in Chicago. So it's kind of like a wasted draft pick. Top 10 draft pick, don't get on the court. All right, I can go talking about the Bulls all day, so I'm gonna wrap that up, bro. Man, hopefully things work out for us, and we have a much better showing in 2021. All right, our last question comes in from Josh in Atlanta. Do you think Tiger Woods has a chance to win the Masters? Josh, yes, I do think that Tiger Woods has a very good chance to win the Masters. I actually watched a lot of round one, and he looked very comfortable and at ease. Recently the problem is Tiger Woods' health toward the end of tournaments. But he's planned out, his months leading up to this tournament. He looked healthy and strong to me. The thing I did notice was that all three facets of his game was working. His drive, his short game, and his putts. He was even surprised by a couple of shots. So Tiger Woods gaining confidence on a course is always scary. I know there's a factor of no fans being in play. I don't think that will have a factor until like the later rounds when it gets tight and golfers are hitting amazing shots and there's no roar from the crowd. But Tiger Woods is probably the most important golfer of all time, and him just being there is going to make everyone better. I think the favorite to win the tournament is DeChambeau, but the way Tiger looked yesterday, he has a very good chance of winning another green jacket. So I will be watching as much as I can over the next few days. Good luck to all the golfers. But yes, to answer your question, Tiger Woods has a very good chance to win the Masters. I actually put a little action down on Tiger myself. All right, party people, that's our show for today. Appreciate you being here. Hit us up at Mainesworldpodcast.com to drop your questions. We're also available on YouTube. Please hit like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Jermaine Harris, and I'm out. Why? Because you can't control me.